Algebra 2, 1-3, solving equations. Hopefully this section will be super easy and you'll remember doing this over the last couple of years, and we can just kind of bust through it. But if not, it's okay. We'll work through it and make it happen. So this section is fairly short here for as far as notes go. Solving equations. So we are going to try to keep the balance. What you do to one side, you must also do to the other. What you do to one side, you do to the other. So if you add 5 to this side, this thing is going to shift. You got to add 5 to this side so that this balance is maintained. All right, so let's go ahead and we're going to just get right into some examples here. So we're going to start with this crazy one that has decimal points in it, but that's the way the book did it. N minus 3.24 equals 42.1. So I want n by itself. So I am going to add 3.24 to both sides, plus 3.24. Now notice when I'm adding 3.24, I am maintaining that the decimal points are in line with one another. Okay, that's important. So negative 3.24 plus 3.24 is going to get me 0, so I've got n on this side all by itself. Now I'm just going to add these two together, and I just add straight down like this, and I end up with 45.34. And that is my answer to that example. Let's do another example, and then I'm going to have you do some U-tries. And here we go. Negative 5/8. Oh, remember negative 5/8 from 1-2? Interesting, that's weird. Equals 20. I want x by itself. So that means I got to get rid of this negative 5/8. So I want this to be a positive 1. So I multiply this by the reciprocal, negative 8/5. I want this to be positive 1. What do I do to one side? I also must do to the other side, negative 8/5. So this becomes positive 1, because remember, 8 times 5 is 40, 5 times 8 is 40, 40 divided by 40 is 1. So I've got 1x equals 20 times 8/5. Now I am going to divide 20 by 5. I'm going to get rid of this 5 to make my math a little bit easier. So 20 divided by 5 is 4. 4 times negative 8 is negative 32. So rewind and play that again if that doesn't make sense to you. Okay, you try. Here are two for you. X minus 14.29 equals 25, and 2/3 y equals negative 18. So you are going to pause this video in just a second and solve for x, and then solve for y. Use the reciprocal here. Make sure that's 1, and then we're all good. And pause now. All right, here we go. One thing that we didn't do is we didn't check our work on these two, and that is something that we should definitely do. So if we were to go back and say 45.34 minus 3.24 equals 42.1, we would do that on the calculator or whatever and find out that that's the right thing. Also, with this one, we plug this x back into the original equation. Negative 32 divided by 8 is negative 4. Negative 4 times positive 5 is going to get me 20. So I've checked both of those answers. Make sure you check your work. Now, you've just done this. We're going to add 14.29, add 14.29, 29. And you should get then x equals 39.29. You can plug that back in there, subtract 14.29 from that. You should get 25. For this one, I need to multiply by the reciprocal here, 3 over 2. And so this becomes 1. So y equals, now I have to do what I do to one side, I must do to the other side, divide by 2. So 3 divided by 2 multiplied by negative 18. I'm going to divide 18 by 2, that's 9. 9 times 3 is 27, and I have to remember that I have a negative there, negative 27. Now I'm going to check this. Negative 27 divided by 3 is negative 9. Negative 9 times 2 is negative 18, which is what I originally had there. Boom, check, check, we're good. Next, we are going to do another example. 5 times x plus 3 plus 2 times 1 minus x equals 14. I'm solving for x. We're going to do this one. I'm going to do 2 u-tries, and then I have a little bit of a challenge thing to do before we're done with 1-3. Let's go ahead and start this one off. I'm going to do the distributive property here. I'm going to do the distributive property here. I'm going to leave 14 all alone. 5 times x is 5x. 5 times 3 is 15. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times negative x is negative 2x equals 14. Now I'm going to combine like terms. My like terms here are these x's. Remember, the negative is part of that. And then the numbers without variables there. Like terms. So positive 5x minus 2x is going to give me 3x. 5 plus 2 is 7 equals 14. I'm going to subtract 7 from both sides. 3x equals 7. Ooh, 7. Wait, did I do something wrong? 14. No. Add. Oh, 5 times 3 is 15. Bop, there it is. 15 plus 2 is 17, so I'm subtracting 17 from both. There we go. That was close. I think I said 15 when I multiplied, and I just wrote 5, I think. Anyway, you can check the video. You're saying as I'm going through, you're like, Mr. V, it's 15, Mr. V. Well, I heard you finally. Okay. 14 minus 17 is negative 3. So now I have 3x, and I need to divide both sides by 3 in order to get x by itself. X equals negative 3 divided by 3, which is negative 1. If I plug negative 1 back in there, I've got negative 1 plus 3, which is 2, so that's 5 times 2 is 10. And this is negative 1, so 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 times 4, 2 times 2 is 4. 10 plus 4 is 14. Boom, 14 equals 14. Okay, I'm going to give you 2 to do on your own. Negative 10x plus 3 times 4x minus 2 equals 6. And 2 times 2x minus 1 minus 4, 3x plus 1 equals 2. Now, I'm going to give you a little hint on this, this one on the right here. This negative 4, make sure that you're multiplying negative 4 by 3x and negative 4 by 1. That negative's got to go with the 4 when you distribute it. Okay, I'm done helping you with that. Go ahead and pause and get to work, and we'll get back in just a second. Go. All right, let's see how you did. Negative 10x plus 3 times 4x is 12x. 3 times negative 2 is negative 6 equals 6. Okay, combine like terms. I've got negative 10x and plus 12x, so that's going to give me 2x minus 6 equals 6. I'm going to add 6 to both sides. 2x equals 12. Then I'm going to divide each side by 2. X equals 6. There's my answer. If I were to plug that back in there, I would find that all of this mess will become 6. 6 equals 6. Over here on the right, distribute my 2, distribute my negative 4. 2 times 2x is 4x. 2 times the negative 1 is negative 2. Minus, because I know negative 4 times 3x is going to be negative 12x. Negative 4 times 1 is negative 4 equals 2. Combine like terms, I've got a positive 4x and a negative 12x. That'll give me negative 8x. Negative 2 and negative 4 is negative 6 equals 2. Add 6 to both sides. I've got negative 8x equals 8. Divide by negative 8. X equals negative 1. And you should be plugging this back in here to make sure that it's right. If you plug negative 1 in here for x, you should get 2 on the left, and you've got 2 on the right, and that checks out. Now, let's go to the next page, or the back, and do this challenge that I have for you. If 6x minus 12 equals 18, what is the value of 6x plus 5? So think about that for a second. If you want to pause, go ahead. I'm going to get into it now. What I'm going to do here is I have this equation, so I can solve for x. And then when I'm done finding out what x is, then I can just plug x into this equation. So let's just do that. 6x minus 12 equals 18. I'm going to add 12 to each side to try to get x by itself. And I end up with 6x equals 18 plus 12 is 30. Divide by 6 to get that x by itself. X equals 5. All right, that's not my answer. What is the value of 6x plus 5? That's what I want to know. So 6 times 5, I'm just plugging in 5 for x plus 5. So this is 30 plus 5 equals 35. There's my answer. Awesome. And I am good with that as the end of 1-3 solving equations. Do the homework, do a good job. See you soon.